From the news team at LinkedIn, I'm Jessi Hempel, and this is Hello Monday. Welcome to the studio. Today, we are going to talk about layoffs. If you have found your way here right now, you are most likely at a turning point in your career, maybe in your life. Maybe you're nervous right now because you know layoffs are coming and you're worried that you are not going to make the cut. Or maybe you've actually just gotten the news and you're trying to make sense of it. Here's a simple truth about a layoff. It is rarely about you. The HR manager who gives you that news will probably tell you it's a business decision, and that person isn't wrong. We're at a difficult moment in the economy. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. Every indicator from jobs data to the stock market is signaling that times are tough and they are growing tougher. We had more job cuts in March in this country than we have had since May of 2020, the darkest, earliest days of the pandemic. My source for that, by the way, is Challenger Gray & Christmas, the outplacement firm. So no, this is not about you. Not about the quality or caliber of your work, not about the necessity of your contributions. But if you're tuning in right now and someone has just told you that you have been impacted, well, that probably doesn't matter much, because a job for most of us is about so much more than that paycheck, right? It's about how we spend our time and where we put our energy. It's about the people we see every day, our work spouses, our unlikely friends, our daily coffee run buddies. Maybe you're a person who loved your job, really believed in it, or maybe you were super burnt out. All the same, a job lends structure and routine to a life. And when it suddenly disappears, it can be unmooring. In the 6 years that we have been gathering together as Hello Monday, I've heard nearly every variation of the career layoff story. And so many of the people who have come into the studio have told us a story of their own. You know, so often they've had this incredible career trajectory, and that layoff is the turning point, right? The pivotal moment, the jumping off point for this success. It's easier to tell that story in hindsight, but that's hard information to hold as it's happening. So, today, I have collected some information for exactly this moment, the one we find ourselves in right now as we try to collect ourselves. This show is for you, and let me be clear, a lot of it came from you too, because we have so many experts in our community, people coming from different industries, working in tech and the nonprofit field, people who have titles like career transition specialist. I mean, they're made for this work. And we have so many people who have also just been where you are before. This is your invitation to pull out a notebook and a pen, because I want you to take notes here. And you're going to probably want to explore some of the stuff we talk about more. Well, this is the place to do that. Take your questions to the Hello Monday group on LinkedIn. Come to our Wednesday office hours. Ask in person. You and I, we are the experts we need right now. We are our own best advocates, our built-in support system. I really believe we can help each other here. So let's dive in. Okay, first thing I want you to know. Layoffs bring up big feelings you will not expect. You may not see them coming. Here, I actually want to share a message with you that I got from a woman I worked with very briefly, maybe 20 years ago. I remember that she was great at her job, like really excellent. People respected her. They wanted to be edited by her. Anyhow, a couple weeks ago, I posted on LinkedIn about the layoffs, and she sent me this private message. She wrote, "Hi, Jessi. We worked together a million years ago. I was indeed just laid off after 20 years. I'm DMing you rather than commenting because I'm still in shame mode. You know, it's happening everywhere, and yet I feel so ashamed." Don't you just want to give her a hug? Don't you just want to tell her what you know to be true? That there's no shame in this. Shame is a dangerous emotion. It targets your sense of self, and it can be paralyzing. Here I quote from the inspirational academic, Brené Brown. Brené says, "Guilt says I did something bad. Shame says I am bad. That, folks, that is why shame is so dangerous. It's why you need to run at it, to examine it, to be empathetic toward it, kind, forgiving of it, and ultimately, to let it go. There is nothing to be ashamed about in a layoff. Second, save your receipts. I love the way that sounds. This is simple. You need a digital file and you need a physical file, and you need to fill them with all of the things you have accomplished in your role and all of the feedback that you have gotten, particularly the feedback that helps you see just how much you have accomplished, because you're going to forget it. Now, if you're still in your job, if you have not moved on yet, this is an opportunity to go back into all of your digital files, pull the actual performance reviews, but also print out and save those emails where somebody just said, hey, you did a good job. Take a look at your calendar and use it as a way to understand how you spent your time. Take note of the things that you were most proud of during that time. You should consider trying the AI prompt that we talked about on this show earlier this spring. Ask Claude or ChatGPT or Copilot to hype you up, to write a paragraph describing to somebody else why you are so exceptional. Now, you're going to want all of this for two reasons. First and foremost, it might be that the journey to a new role, one that you're thrilled about, takes a while. It's not always a quick path for people. And during that period of time, it's going to be important for you to remind yourself why you're an accomplished, smart, gifted professional and you belong in the roles that you're applying for. And second, when it comes time to explain what you have accomplished, you want to have the information at your fingertips. Save your receipts because you'll need them. My third piece of advice for you is the most important and the most concise. You are not your job title. Now, particularly if you are young in your career, maybe if you've come up in one organization for most of that career, it can be easy to fuse your own identity, your sense of self, your values with the values your organization holds. But they are totally separate. And when you draw back and reflect on who you are in the world and what you stand for, you will find that your value doesn't vanish with your job title. It travels with you. And that value isn't determined by how good a speller you are, whether you made mistakes in your last job, how much revenue you brought in for the company. That value is your birthright. You were born valuable. You will always take that with you. My fourth piece of advice, which is really advice that comes from you all, create some structure for yourself. It might feel a little phony or fake at first, but it will really help you out a lot. We have a guy in our community named Jacob Brown who shared that after a layoff, he gave himself a month to sulk, which, valid. And then he moved into creating a structure for how he was going to use his time. The time that he was, of course, searching for a new opportunity, right? He also worked out every day. He learned to cook new things. He committed to reading books that he had shelved. You know, I think what Jacob is trying to show us is that layoffs can open up time. Time you didn't ask for, but that you can now use with intention. A fifth piece of advice. It's a good time to reach out to people, particularly people that maybe you're not as closely in touch with. Reach back to the recent past, the people that you have been in community with most recently. You know, we have a career coach in our community named Anna Levy who reminds us that the people that you were just working with, well, they know your work well. They remember what you were like on your best days. They can help you see yourself more clearly. Anna pushes you to think about putting your ego aside or your concerns and just being in touch with your former colleagues pretty much right away if you can. My final piece of advice to you is to consider your safety net. And here I'm not just talking about your savings account, because whether you've saved a little bit or a lot, it probably is not going to feel like enough in this moment, right? You know, back when I was 26, I came very close to being fired from a job. And I inherited this amazing mentor. Her name was Nicolette. And Nicolette had been around. She had lived a long and rich life. And she told me, look, there are 3 types of capital. There is economic capital, that's money in the bank. There's educational capital, and that is the degree that you have, the degree that you can choose to get, the ability that you have to learn. And then there's social capital. At the end of the day, do you have a couch to sleep on? Do you have somebody you can call, right? And she told me, look, most people are going to spend most of their life consumed with economic capital. They're going to worry they don't have enough of it. They're going to always try to get more of it. But actually, it's the least important kind of capital. Because if you have educational capital, you can probably always find something to do. And if you have social capital, you can probably always find a safe place to rest. And that's what's really important in life. So consider your safety net and think about all of the capital that you have access to. So there's my advice to you. And honestly, a lot of what I have to offer is probably advice that you already know, advice that you would give a friend. But I have one more thing to offer, and that is Hello Monday, right? It's the community. We are here for you. We have a huge back catalog where you can find everything from advice on how to negotiate to actual networking advice, the stuff that you can put into practice right away. And we have each other. We meet every Wednesday afternoon. I go live from the LinkedIn news page at 3 p.m. Eastern. Bring your coffee, bring your lunch, check in with me and check in with each other. Let us know what you need and let us know what you have to offer. Now, I want to leave you with this one final thought. You're going to be okay. And maybe not just okay, maybe even better off. You know, I've talked to so many people on this show. Authors, founders, creatives, executives, and a good number of them trace their best chapters back to a layoff. That's not an easy path, but it's a powerful one. So if you're in this right now, know that you are not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, and we are cheering you on. Until next time, I'm Jessi Hempel, and this is Hello Monday. Thanks for listening.